making his way to the ring, Jake Paul!
Listen, I started Jake off and I'm gonna finish him. Just come to the front and you'll see.
Globally renowned content creator and international by way of Cleveland, Ohio, the problem child, Jake.
He is from the from the International Boxing Hall of Fame, presenting one of the most devastating heavyweight KO punchers of all times, the two-time heavyweight world champion, former undisputed, undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
Listen, I started Jake off and I'm gonna finish him. Just come to the front and you'll see.
Realizing big time round for Jake Paul.
Big round, big round, big shot.
Jake walks forward.
And then full pace. Both running for corner.
The boxing world had never witnessed such an electrifying buzz before the much-anticipated match between the YouTube sensation turned professional boxer Jake Paul and the legendary former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson was finally happening. For weeks, social media platforms were ablaze with predictions, memes, and heated debates as to how the fight would unfold. Some were excited about the clash of generations, while others dismissed it as a spectacle and entertainment more than a real contest. But as the day drew nearer, one thing was clear: everyone was watching Jake Paul, a man who had transformed himself from controversial intern and star to a formidable boxer, had been on a winning streak. He had silenced many critics with his victories over seasoned fighters, making it clear that he was not just a social media stuntman, but a serious athlete. His work ethic was undeniable, and he trained relentlessly for every fight, understanding that every punch he threw or absorbed was scrutinized by millions. Paul's journey from the Disney Channel to the boxing ring was unprecedented. And with each victory, his confidence, he had already taken down the likes of Ben Hasker and Tyron Woodley and Anderson Silva. Now he was and the ultimate prize. Mike Tyson, a man whose name alone sent shivers down the spines of fighters across generations. Mike Tyson, on the other hand, needed no introduction. His career was the stuff of legend. At the age of 20, he became the youngest heavyweight champion in history, and his reign of terror in the ring was unmatched. Tyson's ferocity, power, and speed in his prime made him a force of nature. Though years had passed since his days of dominance, Tyson's legacy was as strong as ever. Despite his age, Tyson had kept himself in remarkable shape, occasionally stepping into the ring for exhibitions that reminded everyone of the raw power he still possessed. When the announcement was made that he would fight Jake Paul, the world reacted with a mix of shock and excitement. How could a 20-some YouTuber stand a chance against Imaki? The fight was set in Las Vegas, the boxing capital of the world. The MGM Grand Garden Arena was packed to the brim with celebrities, boxing aficionados, and fans from around the globe. The atmosphere was electric, charged with anticipation and the roar of the crowd. The lights dimmed as the announcer took the center stage and the fighters were introduced. Jake Paul walked out first, his usual swagger in place, flanked by his team. He was confident, perhaps too confident, as he shadowboxed his way to the ring. He had promised his fans that he would shock the world once again, that he would do what many believed was impossible: defeat Mike Tyson. When Tyson made his entrance, the crowd erupted. The iconic walk, the menacing stare, and the unmistakable aura of a champion filled the arena. Even at 58 years old, Tyson exuded a presence that few could match. His muscles rippled beneath his robe and his eyes burned with intensity. This was a man who had nothing to prove, yet everything to lose. The respect he commanded was palpable. And as he stepped into the ring, the noise of the crowd reached a deafening crescendo. The first round began with both fighters feeling each other out. Jake Paul, surprisingly quick on his feet, danced around the ring, landing jabs and keeping his distance. Tyson, in contrast, remained calm, his experience showing as he methodically cut off the ring, forcing Paul into uncomfortable positions. The tension was thick, with every movement scrutinized by the audience. Paul managed to land a few shots which seemed to embolden him, but Tyson, ever the predator, was biding his time. As the rounds progressed, it became clear that Jake Paul's strategy was to outlast Tyson, hoping that the former champion's age would catch up with him. But Tyson was far from finished. By the third round, he began to unleash his signature combinations, hooks, and uppercuts that reminded everyone why he was once called the baddest man on the planet. Paul, to his credit, absorbed the blows and fought back valiant, but the cracks were beginning to show. His footwork was slower, his punches less precise, and the confidence that he exuded before the fight was starting to wane. The fourth round was where the tide truly turned, with the ferocity of a lion cornered Paul and unleashed a barrage of punches that sent shock waves through the arena. A left hook to the body, followed by a devastating right uppercut, and Paul was down. The crowd gasped as he hit the canvas. The wind knocked out of him for a moment. It looked like the fight was over, but Paul, showing the heart of a warrior, got back to his feet, blood trickling from his nose, his eyes glazed with the determination. The referee gave him the count, and the fight resumed. But it was clear that the momentum had shifted decisively in Tyson's favor. In the fifth round, Tyson's dominance was undeniable. He moved with a fluidity that belied his age, his punches carrying the weight of decades of experience. Paul was struggling to keep up his youthful exuberance, giving way to the harsh reality of facing a true boxing legend. The crowd could sense it. The commentators could sense it. And deep down, even Jake Paul knew that he was. And over his head, every punch Tyson landed was met with a roar from the audience, while Paul's attempts to fight back were met with gasps of sympathy. By the sixth round, Paul was in survival mode. His strategy had shifted from trying to win to simply trying to last a distance, but Tyson was relentless. He smelled blood and was going for the kill. A series of brutal body shots left Paul gasping air, his hands dropping just enough for Tyson to land a crushing right hook to the jaw. Paul staggered, his legs buckling beneath him, but somehow he stayed on his feet. The round ended, and Paul stumbled back to his corner where his team frantically worked to revive him. His face was swollen, his eyes puffy, and his breathing labored. The bravado that had characterized his pre-fight antics was gone, replaced by a grim determination to make it through the fight. The seventh round was the beginning of the end. Tyson, sensing victory, came out with renewed energy. He pressed forward, backing Paul into the ropes and unloading with everything he had. Paul's defense was crumbling, and he was barely able to throw a punch in return. The crowd was on its feet, sensing that the fight was nearing its climax. Then it happened. A thunderous left hook from Tyson connected with Paul's temple, sending him crashing to the canvas for the second time. The arena erupted in a mix of cheers and gasps as Paul lay on the mat, his body motionless. The referee began the count, but it was clear that Paul was done at the count of 10. The referee waved it off, and the fight was over. Mike Tyson had done it again at 58 years old. He had defeated a man more than half his age in a display of power, skill, and sheer will. The crowd erupted in applause chants of Tyson, Tyson, filling the arena as the referee raised his hand in victory. Tyson, ever the sportsman, walked over to Jake Paul, who was being attended by his team, and offered a hand to help him up. There was no animosity, no trash talk,